tell you something just between you and me. When I hear your voice, I know I'm finally free.
Okay, this song was barely a hit, but I still want to talk about it anyway. I don't think it's any surprise for me to say that this is essentially Happier 2. They sound similar, and they both feature a kind of credible synth rock band from the UK, in this case, Churches. And fun little thing, I listened to Churches before this, so this is probably the closest I'll ever get to hipster points. And yeah, I do like Churches, but what about this song itself? I think that this is pretty good. It's not Happier, but if you know me, that is a very, very high bar to set. So for it to get as close as it ended up getting, I think is a very good thing. I kind of think of it as this. If Happier is Coca-Cola, Here With Me is Coke Zero. It's good enough. It has enough of the qualities of the original, but it also sort of does its own thing enough for it to just not be a cheap imitation of the original. I do think that Here With Me is a good song. The vocal melody is very catchy and very well done here. I just have one problem with it, and that is the trap skitters.
You're saying the words that I want you to say.
In case you wanted to know what the difference between a hi-hat and a trap skitter is, there's no difference in the sound at all. They're literally the exact same sound. If you compare the drop in Happier to the drop here, it's the same exact sound. The difference is that in Here With Me, it's right at the front of the mix. That is what I think makes a hi-hat a trap skitter, when it's right at the front of the mix. Because every single time, it doesn't add anything, it just distracts you from everything else that you're supposed to be hearing. In the drop of this song, there is such a good melodic synth line, and you can barely hear it underneath. We need to stop putting trap skitters in literally everything. Please, cease. But obviously, it wasn't enough to ruin this song. It wasn't even enough to make it not good. I do like this song quite a bit. Is it Happier? No, but I like it a lot.
Oh, she's sweet but a psycho, a little bit psycho. At night she's screaming, I'm on my mind.
I kind of hate this song. And it's not because it sounds bad, it sounds fine, I guess, totally average. My problem is the lyrics. And first of all, please don't tell me that I misunderstood what the lyrics are. Ava Max has been very clear about what she meant when she wrote this song. So I'm not calling her a psycho or anything like that. I'm just saying that she didn't think through this at all. This song is basically those horrible posts that say, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best, made into a song. It's essentially blank space with no self-awareness to it at all. Apparently, the narrator of this song is not actually psycho, she's just strong and independent, and all the guys she's been with can't handle it, so they call her a psycho. Because that's something that all guys would totally do. My first problem is that notion, the fact that they're just calling her crazy, is not anywhere indicated in the song itself. In fact, it further muddies the waters with lines like, at night she's screaming, I'm out of my mind, which is not something an ex would say when they were talking about their ex being crazy when they really weren't. Even though it wasn't intended to be like this, it comes off as rationalizing being crazy as like a cute little personality quirk. Describing somebody as sweet but psycho is something that nobody should or probably would ever actually do. And as if there weren't already enough parallels between this and Blank Space, she hits us with this line.
Telling me that I'm insane, but don't pretend that you don't love the pain. Oh, she's sweet but
That line pretty much sums up why this song leaves such a bad taste in my mouth. At least in Blank Space, even if Taylor Swift claims that she didn't see herself in this character at all, she was at least able to acknowledge that a girl can be crazy, and a girl being crazy is bad. No matter what angle I approach this idea from, it doesn't work. I don't think that's like toxic or harmful to society, I just think it wasn't thought through in the slightest. This song has been on the charts for a very long time. It's gonna be a really big hit on the year-end Top 100, and to me that's kind of sad.
Please me, baby. Turn around and just tease me, baby. You got what I want and what I need.
I did not dislike the Finesse remix, but I didn't really love it either. I genuinely dislike Bruno Mars as a performer, even like on his better days. And Cardi B, I'm not really that into. But I would say that when it comes to a collaboration between Cardi B and Bruno Mars, the Finesse remix is probably about as good as it realistically could have gotten. Please Me is a great example of all the things that they could have done wrong when making the Finesse remix, because they did it all here. I don't like this at all. For me, Bruno Mars as a singer is a lot like Adam Levine as a singer. He sounds not very good when he's clearly just kind of bored and going through the motions like Adam Levine and Girls Like You or Bruno Mars and Wake Up in the Sky, but I would still take that over them trying really hard, because when Bruno actually pushes his voice, you get the chorus of Please Me, which is just squealing, and then Cardi saying, squeal louder. The chorus is annoying, but the rest of it is just so bland and forgettable. Cardi B really just seems to want to make the same song over and over and over. It's a formula at this point. The beat is uninspired, this is a very clear rehash, and it just doesn't need to exist.
We change the weather. Yeah, I'm feeling heat in December when you found me.
So, the Jonas Brothers are a thing again. I was actually in the demographic of people who would have liked the Jonas Brothers during the time that they were a thing before this, but I had little to no experience with them. I didn't really watch them as a kid. I remember them making a song that was called SOS that I kind of liked, but that's about it. So I have to say, for a comeback that was apparently so unexpected and so huge, this song is absolutely, completely, and thoroughly average. There's really not much I can say about it. Though I will say that as someone who liked the one DNCE song I've heard before and didn't like any of the Nick Jonas songs I heard before, I am kind of disappointed in the fact that Nick Jonas is the one doing a majority of the vocal work here. As a vocalist, I would put Nick Jonas in the same category as I would Adam Levine or Bruno Mars. Boring at best, annoying at worst, and that definitely comes through in Sucker with all those whiny notes and just, I don't like the way that sounds at all. But other than that, it's a fairly standard pop rock song. Nothing special, nothing terrible. It's there. I'm not exactly sure who was asking that the Jonas Brothers get back together, but for the people that were, is this what you wanted? Does this make you happy? I kind of want to know. Not bad, but certainly nothing to write home about.
I'm at a party I don't wanna be at.
Okay, spring of 2019 is the season of song sequels. We've already had Happier 2 and Finesse Remix 2, and there's Nothing Holding Me Back 2, and now we have Shape of Me 2 by Ed Sheeran. I Don't Care features Justin Bieber, and I did not notice until this song just how similar their voices were. A lot of times it was really hard to discern who was actually singing. This song does have a lot of the things that I liked from Shape of You. The beat is not nearly as catchy or as infectious, not even close, but it is really good, and I have to say, even though this has never happened to me, just the sensation of being at a party where you hate everybody there and just want to leave is something I can imagine very easily, and something that just kind of makes me smile to think about them making a song about it. And I really do like that bridge towards the end where it's like, I hate everyone here except for you. That's just kind of fun to me. This song is a bit of a grower on me. Like, when I first heard it, I thought it was average, but the more I listen to it, the more I think, yeah, this song is good. But there is one thing. That was totally unnecessary, unneeded, don't want it. Why? As one of the few people who will actually defend Shape of You and say that it was good, I would say that this does not quite hold up to the same level, but it's pretty good and I do like it. Okay, Billie Eilish is absolutely 100% not my thing. I just don't get it. I understand that not getting it isn't the same thing as not liking it, but the type of music that she makes is so completely far removed from anything that I would ever actually seek out that I don't even know how to approach this. I think I can say that she's at least better at doing whatever Ava Max was trying to do, I think. I don't really think she strikes me as a particularly good singer, but I also don't think being a good singer is required for music like this. I don't know what they were trying to go for with the songwriting. I guess one thing I can say that kind of annoys me is that snapping sound that happens, except it's like 5 snaps played right next to each other, so it kind of sounds like handcuffs closing, and it's just not a very good bit of percussion at all. But for me, this song is just, I would never seek this out. I don't hate it, but I don't feel like I'm equipped to review this in any way. I'm only 21, and I feel like I'm way too old to be listening to this music. And not even like too old as in it's immature, but like too old as in like I don't get it at all. Like, what? Then again, adults older than me like this type of music, so maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna.
And of course, I'm obligated to talk about Old Town Road Remix, the song that has been at number 1 for longer than anybody expected it to be at number 1, 8 weeks and counting. But let's get the elephant out of the room right away. Is this a country song? No. It's country crossover for sure, but calling Old Town Road a country song without any other qualifiers is like calling Down the Road a country song. Or Meant to Be from last year a country song. And by the way, I think it was that song specifically that made Billboard think that they needed to be more selective about what gets on the country charts. I really don't think it's a race thing at all. But for me, the real question has always been, is the song itself good? And it's certainly interesting. It's like nothing else I've ever heard before. Usually you hear country singers trying to like insert trap elements or rap elements into their music, but this is the reverse. And I do think that the sound is very unique and good, but the lyrics are just kind of dumb. I do think that the remix with Billy Ray Cyrus is a lot better. First of all, it actually pushes it to normal song length. I swear, in like 2022, we're gonna have a number 1 song that's literally like 60 seconds. But it also does add some country cred to this song. However, in my opinion, I think all the discussions and controversy surrounding this song is more interesting and more like there's more to it than the actual song itself. Because when you get right down to it, there isn't a lot to Old Town Road. Is it bad? No, I actually would say it's more on the side of I like it, but it's stupid in a way that a lot of pop songs are. But I don't mind stupid music. In fact,
I promise that you'll never find another like me. I know that I'm a handful, baby. I know I never think before I jump.
this is my favorite song of 2019 so far. Most other people hate it, but this song was just a breath of fresh air. This is what I think a pop song should sound like. Big, loud, dumb, and just fun. I did like the marching band percussion in IDGAF by Dua Lipa, but I didn't really like the melody in it. This song has really good marching band percussion and a really good melody to it. This song is also yet another sequel song. This is essentially Shake It Off 2, Panic at the Boogaloo. But I think that it really works. I also think it was a good move to have two people on this song. Two people sort of sharing this sentiment instead of just one person, again, saying, you'll never find anybody like me, so you better like it, because it's not like that. It's something a lot more positive and inclusive than that. Taylor Swift and Brendan Urie also have very good chemistry with each other. They work well together. And aside from sequel songs being a running theme, another running theme is songs that would have been perfectly fine or good or great if it weren't for one thing that rubs me the wrong way. And for me, it's this part. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. This sick beat makes me roll my eyes. Hey kids, spelling is fun makes me irrationally angry. But the second that that's over, I can enjoy the song as much as I do again. I really do love this song. I am so happy that Taylor Swift is back to doing stuff more like what she was doing in the 1989 album, and I'm very excited to see what's coming next from her. This is great, and I love it. The only thing I'd like to say is, Taylor, you need to calm down about your cats.